Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be talking about a few different ways to be able to use the core more effectively when throwing the football. I think this is really important when it comes to adding more power into the throw, and can also be good in getting the ball out of your hands a little bit quicker, just because the better you kind of stretch the core and the more effective you are with the load, with the arm, the better utilization you get through the whole entire trunk. And so what ends up being, I think, a big advantage when it comes to using the core is going to be being a little bit taller. It's a little bit easier to create that hip and shoulder separation when you have the longer levers. But I think this is something that could be beneficial for anybody, no matter what the height is. And just to get a little bit more in depth into some key things that I think will help you in being able to better understand what it should feel like to be able to use the core and being able to create that stretch that you need within both the hips as well as within the shoulders, and be able to use that when it comes to generating more rotation, more power in the throw. So big thing that I think ends up being the most important thing when it comes to getting more out of the trunk is going to be just getting that front foot down as quickly as possible. The longer it takes you to get that front foot down or that front step down, then the more time it's going to take you to be able to generate the rotation really on both sides. So the big thing when it comes to being able to use the core more effectively is we essentially need to be able to get the hips and the shoulders moving in opposite directions. And in order for that to be happening, we have to be able to get the foot down. And also when we're loading, what I'll commonly see, we'll see a lot of like the top quarterbacks, they'll kind of go and kind of turn that front shoulder back. So I think those end up being the two biggest things that I think would be helpful for you. Is one, we want to be kind of stepping here, and when we step, we don't necessarily want to open all the way here, because when we do that, it becomes hard to be able to get a good stretch within the upper body. You can kind of feel the stretch that you're getting. It's almost more in like the lower back, and that's where a lot of times people will have lower back issues, I think, because they end up just opening up too early within that front, or within the front hip, the hips in general. Where if we can keep that front hip closed a little bit more, and then create rotation here, and then at the same time kind of pivot through here, you should feel that be more of an engagement through the abs and through the obliques, and that's really where you want to feel it. And I would say a good drill to be able to do this and just to be able to start working on it is just having that foot down and just kind of rotate back here. And then as I'm rotating with my upper body, I'm kind of actively going here, and then I should feel the core engage. I could actually try to engage it myself as well. Just kind of squeeze, like your belly button, I would say, is going to be the main area that you really want to be squeezing here to make it so then you could feel that engagement there. When you're doing that, in a natural way to kind of get your core to be a little bit more engaged is to be kind of pushing down into the ground. So when I'm just standing here, I'm already trying to create downward force. I'm not extended with my knees. I'm having my knees a little bit bent, and just by pushing down the core or into the ground, that's going to engage the core. And then additionally, when it comes to being step and keeping that weight down, pushing down, I'm going to try to get rotation here and also an upward twist through here. And then as I do that, I just don't want to end up, I'll use this camera, I don't want to end up falling back. The more that I have my head kind of out in front of my feet, being a little bit more of like an athletic position, that's also going to help me in being able to utilize my core and keep myself from getting more engagement in the back. Once my head and my shoulders start falling back here, that's going to put a lot more pressure here, and it's also going to take the pressure from the core. One of the things we do, good core exercise would just be a sit-up, right? When you're doing a sit-up, you're just lifting yourself forward. So it doesn't make sense for your core to be active if I'm going here. That's going to be much more of a back type of an exercise. So in order for us to also assist in being able to use our core better, we have to be a little bit more forward, kind of even actively sitting up within that part of the body. And I think this is important because we'll see a lot of quarterbacks. I just saw Joe Burrow talk about this earlier, where it's like a big part of being able to generate more power is utilizing the core. So you have to be able to understand how to access it more effectively. And again, getting that front foot down right away, creating the rotation. And as I'm rotating within the lower half, I want to keep that front shoulder closed, so then I can come right over the top and through. And I think that that's going to make it so it's a lot more effective of a throw. Once we start getting back here, leaning back, the ball's getting back, we're essentially just turning off the core, which just makes it a lot more difficult to have consistent power when throwing the football. Hope you liked the video. If you did, click that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.